What's going on, everybody? It's Joel here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Strike Movement Transit Street Trainer. Alright, so these shoes just came in. I took some pictures, did a little video for Instagram, walked my dog, and now it's time for me to go over my first impressions with the Strike Movement Transit Street Trainer. So these are supposed to be like a training shoe slash lifestyle shoe slash skate shoe slash kind of like a Vans style shoe, but something that you could train in, run in, and do anything other than skate in better than a normal pair of Vans. Obviously you can lift in Vans pretty well, but when it comes to like running, jumping, they're pretty like miserable for those kinds of things because they're usually pretty heavy and clunky. This is supposed to like remedy that. It's like a training shoe blended with a skate shoe, and it's pretty evident in the way that the shoe looks, or as the way that the sidewalls are designed in this shoe. So the way that the shoe looks is, it's reminiscent of the interval knits and the chill pill transits. A lot of the paneling is the same. So you've got this toe box right here that is made out of the Clarino micro suede, the same one that was on the Suede trainer. You got perforations on the top there. Nice wide toe box with this shoe. Not really boxy or like square, like super anatomical shaped, but it's got plenty of width, especially compared to a lot of training shoes out there. So in the mid part of the shoe, you have a canvas material, and that's both on the lateral and the medial side. It's a nice taut canvas. I got the camo ones, which I think are easily the best out of the three launch colorways. Around the ankle collar, you have this more heavy duty mesh as well, and that's on both sides of the shoe. That really is reminiscent of the intervals, the chill pill transits. They all had that kind of design. And then at the back part of the shoe, around like the heel counter, there's another piece of that canvas material. You got a little pull tab at the back. The heel area is a neoprene material. The collar of the shoe is supposed to have some memory foam in it, and I'm not really getting that, I guess, a little bit. It's not as springy as memory foam normally is, but it's comfortable, and it feels plush around your ankle. I really like it. The tongue is that neoprene material. It's a good blend of being thin and also cushioned at the same time. It doesn't feel bulky or anything. And then on the inside there, it is gusseted for sure. The laces on the shoe are really cool. They're rope lace, and I don't know if you can tell, but there's a little yellow line through them, or a little yellow stripe, which makes them look pretty cool. It gives them a little extra flavor. Lacing system is not really anything too crazy. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 eyelets, and then one that is kind of embedded in the very front of the shoe. I thought getting a lockdown fit in these shoes was pretty easy to do, so I really like that. And then of course you do have the pleasure pocket so that you can stuff your laces in there when you're doing double unders, you're running or something, you don't want them to get untied. You can stuff them in there. The insole of the shoe is the same one that is on the Haze trainer, and I forget what it's called. Let's pull it up. It is the Super Foam footbed. Comfortably cradles the foot and enhances lateral stability because you got some sidewalls there. Feels a little bit thicker than the one on the Haze, but I could just be going crazy. Let's now take a gander at the midsole. So you've got exposed midsole at the back part of the shoe, and I think that's there just to make it a little bit more flexible, a little bit easier to run in. The midsole on this is the new lightweight Spectra foam, and I think it's it's based off of the Cush 50 midsole. What they were telling me they had to do was get a lighter foam to offset the weight of the extra rubber on the shoe. So I think that's why they're calling it something new. So the sidewalls on the shoe are made of rubber, and then the midsole is going to be inside of that. You can't see the midsole other than the heel. So if you're using these for rope climbs, I don't think that's going to be an issue because there's really nothing to burn through here. You've got just the rubber outsole, and then you got the rubber sidewalls, and then the midsole on the shoe is just not exposed. So you're not going to burn through anything there. And then I think this canvas material should hold up just fine. But that's something to test going forward. The outsole of the shoe is a rubber outsole. You've got a little bit more rubber at the heel, and then it kind of tapers off at the front part of the shoe. I don't know the exact specifications. It looks like it's probably about 4 millimeters in the front, maybe about 8 millimeters at the back part, just to give you a little bit more durability when wearing these shoes, because they're something that you're supposed to be able to do anything with. So I guess the idea is that, if you do skate, if you are really hard on your shoes, if you're like a parkour guy, it's going to take you a while to burn through these. So the outsole is the new variable platform outsole with a versatile tread pattern that provides grip over multiple hard surfaces and comes alive on concrete, quartz, pedals, and grip tape. So the way that it's designed is that there's a herringbone tread pattern around the outside, and it's a little bit more prominent in the medial part of the shoe, and then through like the middle of the outsole there's like a triangle kind of tread pattern. I don't know what that's called, but the shoe is flexible. Like, it's a lot more flexible than a pair of Vans would be. It's also a lot lighter than a normal pair of Vans would be as well, though it is a little bit more heavy than a pair of like Haze trainers. I clocked these size 11s in at 13.2 ounces. So the extra rubber on the shoe definitely, increases the weight a little bit, but I still think, that's a pretty reasonable amount of weight for a training shoe, everything kind of shoe. I'm not too bothered by that. The drop on the shoe, 4 millimeters, just like pretty much all of the other Strike Movement shoes, the Vimanas, the Haze trainers, not the Chill Pill Transits, but still relatively flat. We do like that about Strike Movement shoes. So going now and talking about the way that these shoes fit. So the suede trainers, which these have the same Clarino micro suede from, were small on me in a size 10.5. So with that in mind, I went for a size 11 in the Transit Street trainers, and there's plenty of width in the toe box, but they are slightly long. I think that I probably should have gone with a size 10.5, but I will say that the 11s still feel like a good fit on me as well. I did have to kind of tighten up the laces, but I think they're completely usable. I don't think that I'm swimming in these shoes at all. But when going to size your Transit Street trainers, I'm gonna recommend that you go with your normal Strike Movement size. So I would probably go with a 10.5 going forward, just based off the way that these shoes fit. I don't think that they're gonna end up being too tight. Right now, like I said, I got the size 11. There's a little bit of space in front of my shoes. The width is money. But like I said, they're totally usable, and my feet aren't swimming around in these. They don't feel sloppy. There's not an excessive amount of space. I think that there's just a little bit more length than I would like in my shoes. So we're gonna do some lifts. We're gonna see how these perform, under some real weight today. We got some snatches, some deadlifts. Hopefully they're still comfortable when I do the burpees. And I have pretty high expectations for these shoes because the Haze trainers are like one of my favorite training shoes of all time, probably one of my favorite at the moment as well. And these feel very similar, except that they have more pronounced like lateral stability, and I really actually like that about these shoes. That's something that I think makes a shoe like feel really stable. Like, I think cutting in these shoes would be really nice, really sharp. So if you wanted to use these for like court sports, pickleball, tennis, I think that they would actually be really nice for that. They also definitely feel like you could skate in these shoes. So if you're looking for like a one-stop kind of shoe, I think that these might actually be it. if you wanted to skate and then also go throw down with a barbell. So let's get some lifts in, and then I'm gonna come back and then we're gonna talk about how these felt after the workout. I don't like that the toe kind of feels like a little raised in the shoe, maybe because they're a little long on me, but it feels like a little floaty. It's pretty similar to like the canvas trainer from Noble, which I generally like the canvas trainer from Noble. I just don't like that the toe feels floaty on it. I like how laterally stable these shoes feel. That's one thing, like the similarities between the shoe and the rec trainer and the canvas trainer are like the sidewalls are very prominent, or the outsole shape. So it feels like your foot doesn't want to like roll to the side. I really like that about, you know, I guess the skate style training shoes is what we'll call them. Yeah, so far so good. They feel pretty stable landing. For some reason I feel like they're like taller. I don't know if that's actually true, but it might just be the illusion that I'm getting from the front, like because it is like raised up. Like it feels like the toe spring angle is a little aggressive in these shoes. It makes my toe off, I think, delayed, but that might actually, it might just be like the excessive length in the shoe. Landings feel real stable, like that about them. Like if I land at the midfoot of the shoe, it just feels planted. I think now that I'm getting more used to it, like the responsiveness is coming back. Like the midsole is still responsive. Forward on every single one of those. Yeah, these probably a little long on me. Alright, so the jury's still out on how I felt about snatching in these shoes. Like I felt kind of weird, like delayed in a way where like it wasn't super responsive. And like, it doesn't feel like the midsole's like squishy or anything. It just kind of feels like I'm not able to get good foot contact at the very front of the shoe. And that just might be because they're a little bit long on me. But I'm gonna, continue to use them for, test them out in this length. Hopefully I can get a size 10.5 and I'll try that out and see what that feels like. But now I got some deadlifts and stuff in the workout, and I think these will do just fine for that. All right, so just finished my inaugural workout in the Transit Street Trainers, and overall, I'm pretty satisfied with the performance of these shoes. I think I still need to get used to them. I'm actually gonna try to get a size down and see how that feels for me. When I was snatching with them, landings, when I landed correctly, were pretty stable. I like the way that the contact patch feels like on these shoes. It's like very flat. And it's mainly throughout the heel and mid part of the shoe. And then when you get on your toes, it can kind of rock you forward. So if you land forward, it's gonna take you forward. It's kind of hard to recover that by hanging back on your heels, because naturally, something with a toe spring angle wants to make you go forward with these shoes. I don't know if that's the length, because these are just a little bit long for me. They're comfortable, but they are a little bit long for me. Or if it actually is just like the toe spring angle. The heel wasn't detracting from anything. I didn't really notice it being squishy. It's meant to flex back there, but like If you put pressure down, like straight down, then it's a non-issue. But if you like put pressure at an angle on the heel, like if you were running or like heel striking, then you'll notice it flex a little bit, which is fine because like we just don't want it to compress downwards. Like I said, the fit of these is kind of where I'm iffy at. Like mine are a little bit too big for me. So yeah, that's probably my biggest issue with these. So if you are coming from haze or sways, like if you had to size your sways up, then you're gonna wanna go back to your normal haze size. These are gonna be just like your normal haze size. Other than that, they don't feel exactly like haze trainers, and I think that's a good thing. I think they might just be a little bit more disconnected feeling. They're still pretty responsive, but they're not as responsive as normal haze. They're also not as flexible. Obviously, they're not as light as normal haze trainers are. So if you wanted a training shoe, then I think that the haze trainers are still gonna be the better overall trainer. If you were like looking for a powerlifting shoe, if you just wanted to do lifts, then I think that the transits are a pretty good choice. Yeah, my only like kind of I'm not so sure about yet is the toe spring angle, if it's the toe spring angle or if these are just too long for me. But yeah, for first impressions, I'm impressed. I like these shoes. Like this is definitely something that I would want to wear every day. And I'll probably wear it more often than just about anything else because it looks even more low-key than normal haze trainers do. It's comfortable. I could for sure work out in these. I could do just about anything in these, whether it's just Olympic weightlifting, powerlifting, even like running. You could run in these, no problem. And I think that for like the overall, these are really they really check all the boxes. And for the price being $140, being a little bit cheaper than haze trainers, I think it's a really good deal for these shoes. Now we just need to make sure that they fit correctly next time. So stay tuned for the full-on review, and if you have any questions about these shoes, feel free to leave them in the comment section. And as always guys, please hit that like button, subscribe, and thanks for watching.